He has become disconnected from reality, at least in his rhetoric. The president airing his delusions to millions of viewers on cable news. It was billed as an interview, though it kind of wasn't. It was basically a diatribe, a monologue teetering on madness and absurdity.
This is total fraud, and how the FBI and Department of Justice, I don't know, maybe they're involved, but how people are allowed to get away from this stuff with this stuff is unbelievable. This election was rigged. This is the essence of our country. This is the whole ball game, and they cheated. Joe Biden did not get 80 million votes.
You just heard the president suggest that his own Attorney General William Barr and his own FBI Director Christopher Wray may be involved in some plot to steal the election from him. What we saw this morning was a major news network hand him a platform to pollute anyone willing to believe him with misinformation and flat-out lies, as a purported journalist just nodded along, as though his claims of widespread election fraud had any shred of legitimacy or even made any sense.
I'm telling you, at 10 o'clock, everybody thought it was over. And then the phony mail-ins started coming in, Maria. There are many mailmen that are in big trouble right now for selling ballots, getting rid of ballots. This is the craziest thing you've ever seen. But many ballots with the name Trump on were thrown out.
I don't have to tell you that that's not true. What we're watching here is sad, and it hurts me to watch. And I'm going to go off script for a second to explain that as journalists, we're trained to be impartial, to be objective, to look at policy, to look at the marketplace of ideas and judge from a dispassionate position. But this is not about the marketplace of ideas. This is about the marketplace of realities. It appears this president is in a desperate downward spiral because he can't accept and he cannot fathom that he lost and that it may have been his own fault. A president who appears to reject the idea that he is responsible for the consequences of his own actions. A president who's also spent a fifth of his days on the golf course, something that he routinely criticized his predecessor for. He will not acknowledge the reality of his loss, and he will not acknowledge the reality of a pandemic, even after we've lost 250,000 American lives. More than 250,000 lost. Our family members, our friends, our loved ones, in just a matter of months. And even as we're barreling toward what experts say could be the worst phase yet.
I want to be straight with the American people. It's going to get worse over the next several weeks.
So this is how the president chooses to spend his remaining time in office, either completely in denial and delusion, or peddling nonsense to keep his base engaged and keep those donations flowing into his pockets.